Hi, I'm Peter. Today we're going to talk about anxiety. What causes anxiety? When we break it right down to the very simplest level, I believe anxiety is caused by your nervous system doing too much. Your brain is just working too hard. It's that simple. So this might come from working too many hours or various types of stress, which could be financial things, maybe physical or emotional. It could be caffeine, which overstimulates certain parts of our bodies, or it could be a food additive or side effects to a medication. Often it's a combination of more than one thing. But at the end of the day, when your brain is not able to cope with all the things that are happening in your life, you feel anxious. So we can cope with different stresses up to a certain level, but go over that level and the wheels fall off. The tipping point between where we can or can't cope is different for everyone. So let's say that my level is here. So if I have this much stress in my life, I'm okay. If I have this much, I'm still okay. If I have this much, I can still cope. But if I have this much, I'm not okay. And so even though we all have different levels, we can cope up to a point. We go over into the not okay area, and maybe it's only a little thing that tipped us over. And we might blame that small thing, but really it was a combination of all the different things that added up to create the issue. There are a number of different tests that we need to do to check out the causes of anxiety. But let me give you just one example today of one of the common causes. Magnesium. It's often an important part of treating anxiety. When your brain sends a signal, there's a chemical reaction that happens inside each individual nerve to get the message from your brain to somewhere else in your body. Your nerves need magnesium to run that chemical reaction properly. Let's say your brain wants to send a message to a muscle in your body. And let's assume that there are 100 nerve cells supplying that one muscle. Of the 100 nerves, 70 have enough magnesium and 30 don't have enough magnesium. So the signal from your brain goes out on the 70 nerves that are working, and the muscle gets a mixed message. 70 nerves say, do something. 30 nerves are silent. So the muscle says back to the brain, what? And the brain sends the message again. Still, only 7/10 of the message gets through, so the muscle and brain have a big conversation. It's a bit like when we call someone on a mobile phone and we're in a bad area. The call's all crackly and breaking up, and we get frustrated, and it takes us 5 times longer than it should to communicate with the other person. This is what happens when you low in magnesium. Instead of the brain saying, do this, and the muscle saying, okay, there's a whole back and forward thing going on. That's happening with just one muscle. So you multiply that hundreds of times with all the muscles and organs and glands and tendons and fascia and all the things that your brain controls. And they're all getting mixed messages because the nerves don't have enough magnesium to function properly. What does that do to you? You get anxious, because your brain is doing way more than it should. So, if low magnesium is the cause of your anxiety, you top up your magnesium levels by taking a supplement or by eating foods high in magnesium, and your anxiety usually melts away, and usually fairly quickly. Just a side note here is that there are many different types of magnesium available. Most of them are not harmful, but lots of them have such a low absorption rate that they're almost useless to top up your body magnesium levels. I'll do another video soon on the different types of magnesium. So back to anxiety. What I recommend you do is analyse your life. Make a list of the things that are causing stress for you, and there will probably be some things you can change, and likely some things that you can't change. So for example, you may not be able to change the stress around your job, but you can change things that you eat or drink, for example, like coffee. So coffee is not necessarily bad, by the way, but it may be a contributor to anxiety. So if you work on the things you can change, even if they're only little things, they can potentially make a big difference in reducing your anxiety levels. Here at Total Health, we do a number of tests during your first appointment to pinpoint the cause of your issues, including anxiety. There are many different treatments that target the symptom of anxiety. So these are things like sedative drugs or herbs, and there's nothing wrong with treating a symptom for a short time, but often these things end up as long-term treatments. I always try to treat causes rather than symptoms, and that's so that you get the best long-term result. So if you're ready to start dealing with your anxiety today, click the Book Online button below this video. Click on my photo and then Naturopathic Initial Appointment. It will show you a list of the available appointment times so you can find the time that works best for you. We can do the appointment in person at our clinic in Jilliby or using online video or telephone. Allow an hour and a half for the initial appointment because we want to go through a lot of detail and do the necessary tests so that we can get the best results for you. So thanks again for watching today, and I'll talk to you again soon.